One of the most iconic Nickelodeon shows ever was The Adventures of Pete and Pete, which ran from 1992 to 1996. But what is the main cast up to today? Let's find out. Let's start off with Joyce Wrigley, played by Judy Graff. Judy played the quirky and caring Joyce Wrigley, the mom with a metal plate in her head. Judy embraced a quieter life after the show concluded. While her role as the Wrigley family mom remains her most iconic role, Judy stepped back from acting to focus on her family and personal pursuits. Sadly, in 2021, Judy passed away. We miss you, Judy. You were a great 90s Nickelodeon mom. Up next, Don Wrigley, played by Artie Rawls. Artie portrayed Don Wrigley, the quirky and lovable father who continued to act after the series had concluded.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these dads out here have heard of me.
He appeared in various television shows like Different Law and Orders and recently Bad Monkey. Notably, Artie became the face of a long-running advertising campaign for Maytag, playing the iconic Maytag repairman from 2003 to 2007.
Hey! You're the Maytag repair guy.
Now, you were expecting maybe Romeo and Juliet?
Artie has some memorable moments on Pete and Pete, and now that I'm older, I really relate to his character. Moving on to Nona Mecklenburg, played by Michelle Trachtenberg. Try saying that 3 times fast. Michelle, who played Nona, Little Pete's best friend on the show, went on to achieve significant success in both television and film. After Pete and Pete, she gained widespread recognition as Dawn Summers from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and starred in popular films such as Harriet the Spy, Ice Princess, and I think we all remember her being extremely banging in Eurotrip. Michelle has continued to work in the entertainment industry, appearing in shows like Mercy and Gossip Girl. Even though she joined the cast later in the series, her role as Nona remains a cherished part of Pete and Pete. Moving on to Artie, the strongest man in the world, played by Toby Huss. Toby Huss, who played Artie, the self-proclaimed strongest man in the world.
For I am Artie, the strongest man in the world.
Toby went on to build an impressive and diverse career in film and television.
Strong as Kansas.
Known for his versatility, Huss appeared in numerous roles across many different genres, including notable performances in King of the Hill, where he voices Cotton and Con. He's also in *Halt and Catch Fire* and *The Righteous Gemstones*. The man has done and been in like everything. It's extremely impressive. More recently, Huss has lent his talents to new series like The New Beavis and Butthead, Star Trek Lower Deck, and it's not listed on IMDb yet, but I'm sure he'll be reprising his roles on King of the Hill when that comes out later on. Huss's comedic timing and unique energy as Artie left a lasting impression on fans for The Adventures of Pete and Pete. He is simply iconic. Moving on to Ellen Hickle, played by Allison Finelli. Allison, who played Ellen Hickle, Big Pete's witty, loyal best friend, and sometimes girlfriend, chose to step away from acting after the series had ended.
No, not why. Why? W-H-Y. Why?
Well, she does have one voice acting credit for an animated series called Tome, Terrain of Magical Expertise. That's pretty much it. She retired after that, which is a shame because after recently rewatching the entire series, she's a really good actress. According to a fan site, Allison earned a degree in biomedical ethics and later attended medical school. She now works in the healthcare field, focusing on helping others in meaningful ways. Although she no longer appears on screen, her portrayal of Ellen remains a fan favorite, celebrated for her humor, intelligence, and heartwarming chemistry with the rest of the cast. I want to throw in 2 notable characters that I like from the series and I think you'll have a little bit of fun with. First up is Endless Mike Hellstorm, played by Rick Gomez. Rick portrayed Endless Mike, Big Pete's hilariously menacing nemesis.
I imagine your son's head on my tea. The rest takes care of itself.
Rick has gone on to enjoy a prolific career in television and film. Known for his versatility, Rick is perhaps best recognized for his role as George in HBO's critically acclaimed miniseries Band of Brothers. He's also appeared in popular TV series like Justified, where he was David Vasquez, and more recently, Silo, where he played Patrick Kennedy. If you really want to see Rick's talents, may I suggest a personal favorite of mine that got absolutely no love? The Life and Times of Tim, which you can see on HBO, where Rick voiced fan favorite, The Priest.
Over at the bar, Tim was teaching me to drink a Johnny Walker Black. I believe it's a whiskey. And he explained what it feels like to touch a woman who's wearing no clothes. And I'll be damned if that doesn't sound like some fun. Boobs in your hand. Naked boobs.
Up next, bus driver Stu Benedict, played by Damian Young. Damian, who played our eccentric, perpetually overworked, and occasionally depressed bus driver Stu Benedict.
Stu, who's been pretty depressed since his girlfriend left him over nothing.
After rewatching the series, he is actually one of my favorite characters on the show now that I'm an adult. Damian continued to build a strong career in television, film, and theater. Known for his unique presence and versatility, Young has appeared in numerous acclaimed projects, including roles as Jim in Ozarks, Aiden in House of Cards, and Bill in Californication. If you go back and watch the adventures of Pete and Pete, I think you will see how good of a side character bus driver Stu Benedict actually was. Alright, moving on to the big two. Little Pete Wrigley, played by Danny Tamberelli. Danny, who brought the rebellious and eccentric Little Pete Wrigley to life on Nickelodeon's Adventures of Pete and Pete, has maintained a diverse career in entertainment since the show ended.
Hey, better. Hey, better, so wing better, you pus-drunk, spurting maggot batter.
He has voiced characters on the animated series like The Magic School Bus and appeared on other Nickelodeon staples like All That and Figured Out, which I always tuned in to watch it Figured Out because I had a huge crush on Summer Sanders. Did anyone else, or was that just me? As an adult, Danny shifted his focus to music, performing as a bassist and vocalist for his band. Gonna get the name wrong, but it's either Jounce or Ounce. I'm not sure if the J is silent. He also started a sketch comedy YouTube channel called Man Boobs Comedy. On a side note, Danny and Michelle appear in an episode together on Nickelodeon Space Cases. Want to revisit Space Cases? You can check out this video over to my side. Plus, I'll put it down in the video description, so make sure you give it a watch, of course, after this video is done playing. Currently, Danny co-hosts the nostalgic podcast, The Adventures of Danny and Mike, where he and his co-host Michael discuss their experiences on Pete and Pete and connect with fans and industry figures. Moving on to Big Pete Wrigley, played by Michael C. Maronna. Michael transitioned into a successful career behind the scenes after the show had ended. He focused on a career as an electrician, best boy, and gaffer in the film and television industry.
The next two words that came spilling out of my mouth might be the two scariest words a kid can ever utter.
What test?
Michael has worked on numerous major productions, including hit series like Elementary, Jessica Jones, and a new show I have been loving called Evil. I can't recommend it enough. Additionally, he co-hosts the podcast we mentioned earlier with his friend Danny. While Michael has had and continues to have success behind the scenes, he doesn't fully step away from acting. According to IMDb, looks like he actually dips his toe back in every now and then with appearances on Law & Order, Gilmore Girls, Slackers, and most recently, I Saw the TV Glow. Michael will always be remembered as one of the best older brothers and narrators of fun adventures on Nickelodeon. One thing that I really like about the actors that played Pete and Pete is the fact that they have embraced the role they played in the 90s. While many child actors actually try to shed the past, Danny and Michael have embraced it. they proudly talk about their time on the show. They engage with fans via conventions and reunions, and they even poke fun at the show with some really good sketches and shorts, which you can check out right here on YouTube. No joke, they're fantastic. What was your favorite episode of Pete and Pete? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit like and subscribe because we will be doing a full retrospective on the adventures of Pete and Pete. If that video is already available, check it out over to my side, or like I said, hit that sub button so you know when it launches. But if you need other good vibe, nostalgic content right now, check out the other videos over to the side where you get to see more of my beautiful face. I'll catch you all later. Take care, and of course, peace.